and me actually holding the position, I actually ended up losing an extra $25,000 of unrealized gain. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another breakdown. So today I'm going to be breaking down pretty much the only trade that I've taken this week so far. I've taken 2 positions, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I decided that I wasn't going to trade throughout the rest of the year. So I literally withdrew all my money from every single brokerage because I don't need money to just sit in a brokerage, and I put it back in my bank. And then I actually made a new deposit after, like, you know what, like, we're kind of still in October. I could trade to like almost Thanksgiving, and then from there I cannot trade for the rest of the year because that's like a month and a half of no trading, and that's literally a month and a half of no income, so, or at least no trading income. So I thought to myself, you know what, let me just make a small deposit and let's just not fuck around with it, but let's try and flip it as fast as I possibly can. So anyways, guys, I'm not trading on my main portfolio. Just wanted to let you guys know, which is why you're going to see no trade history when I show you guys my journal, etc., etc. I just started this account literally 4 days ago, and I've only taken 2 positions. Now, just wanted to be fully transparent with you guys there. Anyways, so what I'm going to be doing is breaking down my position that I ended up taking on US30, which was a short position to the downside. Oh, let me pull up my account history. As you guys can see here in my account history, I had taken 2 positions. One position for a $75,000 gain, which is the trade we're going to go over, and then another position for about a $9,000 gain, which was kind of like a break-even trade almost. But those are pretty much the 2 positions that I ended up taking on this account so far. Now we're gonna go over here to my TradeKeep trading journal, which again is an automated trading journal, which is a trading journal that I recommend that you guys use. So looking at my profit and loss calendar, these are the only 2 trades I've taken. As you guys can see, literally only 1 position as of right now on both of these trades, which the account so far is up pretty good amount, and I do have a good amount of cushion in the account so far. Now it is a high risk account, so I am risking a little bit more than what I normally would on my main portfolio. And again, I just want to tell you guys that to keep everything as transparent as I possibly could. So these are the 2 trades that I've taken, no losses right now, and they were both sells. Now, you may be asking yourself, how did I make money on a sell side when price is clearly going bullish? It's simple. I'm not looking for massive moves out of the market. I'm looking for little intraday fluctuations so I could capitalize off of those opportunities. So what I want you guys to keep paying attention to are these 2 main areas here on US30. The first area being 3632, which is going to be our level of resistance. As you guys can see here, there's support, support, support. Then we have resistance. And then we're going to have our minor, more kind of intraday level around this range right here, being the 30,200, 30,300 range. So from a daily perspective, what I saw at that point in time was that price pretty much came back up into this area of previous support, which now held as resistance, and we could see a possible rejection off of this area simply because the weekly overall is still bearish. Price is still making lower lows and lower highs on the weekly time frame. If we look at it, we have a lower low, lower high, lower low. So price is pulling back to potentially make a lower high, and that's unless we start breaking above the highs and start making new highs, which, I mean, it could happen, but as of right now, from everything that's going on, we are pretty much in recession territory. So I highly doubt that could possibly happen, but we'll see. There's a lot of talk about interest rates, etc., etc. Right? So when price came back up into this area here, this was an area where we could have anticipated selling pressure off of this range, just simply because, again, what the support and resistance, supply and demand levels show us are areas where there is liquidity. So if there's going to be selling pressure in this area, that is going to create opportunity for us to capitalize off of. Now, you have to remember, when you place a zone on the daily time frame, it's going to be an overall zone, not just a specific price point. And what I was looking at was pretty much we had the 4-hour highs up in this range here, and then we had the lows down in this range over here. So at that point in time, when I was actually trading, what I saw was US30 pretty much pumped all the way back up into this 30,800 range, where it then closed with a rejection, which is pretty much when I took the position. I ended up taking the sell somewhere along the fluctuation of this 30-minute candlestick, and it's very, very simple why I took the sell, because we had a rejection of this area of resistance on the 5-minute, and again, this is an intraday resistance level, and my overall target was all the way down here. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I did get greedy and I did continue to hold my position. At one point in time when price was actually down here in this range, I was actually up around $100,000, but I was like, you know what, if price breaks under this point, then we could see it continue to drop. My 100K trade can turn into a potential $200,000 trade, which again, I'm just trying to be as honest and transparent with you guys, because again, I'm human as well. I'm not just a perfect trader. I'm not just going to get in at the perfect entry, although my entry was pretty much amazing. My entry was somewhere along the engulfing of this candlestick here, right? And then price literally just flew down. But the greed did come and affect my decision making, because I could have closed at an $100,000 gain somewhere down here at my target, but I actually decided to hold. And me actually holding the position, I actually ended up losing an extra $25,000 of unrealized gain. And that's just part of, you know, the risk that was involved with me holding the position. Now, when it came to me holding the position, pretty much when price was actually down here, I told myself, okay, well, price had came all the way down. I allowed it to pull back a little bit and then came right back down again. And I decided to actually trail my stop loss literally to this point right here above this high. And it's okay, well, you know, if price can actually break this high, then most likely we're going to go up, and I don't want to continue to be in the position. I don't want to continue to hold the position if price does continue to go up from this point after breaking above this high, right? So that's when I actually got stopped out of the position right then and there. And as you guys can see, price did go down a little bit more, but then right after it just kind of flew up. So I ended up closing at a $75,000 gain. Now again, when it came to the decision making of me looking to take this position, overall in the weekly time frame, price is trending bearish, and we were approaching a major area of resistance on the daily time frame. Now with that being said, we already had an initial rejection of this resistance here, and what I saw was a potential retest on a 4-hour, hour and 30-minute time frame of this area of resistance, where I did anticipate selling pressure. Now you guys got to remember, when it came to this zone, look at how far price rejected and where it went to. It went from 30,800 all the way down to 30,300. That is a pretty decent sized move, and you could definitely see that there is selling pressure in this area here, right? So again, I'm just looking at the probability of things. It's like, okay, well, if price can come back up into this zone and reject it, where do we have the probability of going to next? And that decision making pretty much led me to believe that price could come all the way back down to 30,300, which is our previous area of resistance here, which is a major area of resistance that price literally just broke back above and started to consolidate above. Now I could have also taken buys along this area here, but my intuition overall was telling me sells, just simply because of the way the weekly time frame was actually forming. You guys got to remember too, it came to an area of exhaustion, and then we're under a level of resistance here on the daily time frame. Not just any random resistance level, we're at this major area where price rejected literally day after day after day after day after day after day. So that is pretty much the reasons as to why I ended up taking this position. Ultimately, the only reason I made 75 grand is because of my position size. I was risking roughly $15,000 on this trade, and I ended up making a total net profit of 75,000, where I was up $100,000. And again, I let that greed affect my trading decision, and ultimately it cost me a $25,000, right? I could have again potentially made more if I would have been a little bit more generous with my stop loss placement, but ultimately price flew up, and I don't know if I would have been able to actually close here, because once we see prices trading lower and lower, it's going to be a lot harder for you to just say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to close. Because if price broke under this area, it has a high probability of coming back down into this area here. And knowing myself and knowing how I trade, I would have definitely held the position pretty much all the way until I would have probably ended up closing at $75,000 gain anyways, right? Just simply based off the fact that, okay, price is now back under resistance. Let's wait and see if price can reject resistance. But we had a huge, massive move up, and ultimately I probably would have closed somewhere along that same range. So that is basically going to conclude the breakdown. Now, for those of you guys that are interested in using TradeKeep as your trading journal, which is a trading journal that I highly recommend you guys use, not only because I'm partnered with them, but simply because they are an automated trading journal and they go into detail on every single thing that you need to actually know. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much going to summarize the breakdown. Last thing before I do head off and pretty much move on with my day, you guys can get more free trading content on the free Telegram down below, so make sure you guys go join the free Telegram channel. Along with that being said, I'm only going to launch the Day Trading Institution one more time throughout the rest of the year, right? So if you guys are interested in learning from me directly, oh, and by the way, I forgot to kind of mention here, there's a $5,000 withdrawal, just so you guys could see. So if you guys want to join the Day Trading Institution one more time before the year actually ends, I'm going to be adding an entire indices section on how I trade indices inside of the Day Trading Institution, because the Day Trading Institution kind of goes over Forex and trading currencies and commodities versus on how I trade indices. I'm only going to allow 100 new students into the Day Trading Institution before the year actually ends. So if you guys are interested and want to learn from me directly and join an amazing community of traders and like-minded individuals, and just simply join the waitlist down below. We'll see when I actually decide to launch the Day Trading Institution, but as of right now, make sure you guys just follow or join the Day Trading Institution waitlist. Other than that, I will talk to everybody in the next video, and you can just check out all of my links down below in the description.